Welcome to 12 News Weekend. Every week, we look back at some of the most memorable stories from our 12 News journalists. On today's show, have you ever wondered what life would be like at 108 years old? We sit down with a woman who's seen more than a century of history and has an incredible story to share. And later, if you're a golfer, you've definitely heard of the company Ping. We'll take you inside their Phoenix headquarters for a behind-the-scenes look. But first, a holiday miracle for a Valley pup who escaped his family's yard on Christmas Day. 12 News journalist Gabriela Becerra brings us the heartwarming reunion you have to see to believe.
Bentley, the golden retriever, is back where he belongs after a whirlwind 6 hours.
Bentley's Christmas adventure.
The Jones left home to celebrate Christmas with family in Chandler, leaving Bentley in the backyard to enjoy the cooler weather. But when they returned home, he was gone.
The gate it latched, but it didn't fully clasp like all the way down.
Lauren Jones thought back to a post she'd seen earlier on Facebook.
I noticed a picture of a dog that looked like ours, and so I asked my husband, like, hey, is this Bentley? He's like, no, that's not him. And I kept scrolling, and I was like, no, we think it is him.
Sure enough, it was Bentley, and he was in good hands.
I was like, oh my God, thank God he's still here.
Bentley, a water lover, was found swimming in a canal near Fire Station 707, about 1.5 miles away from home. The firefighters there jumped into action to save him.
They got him on the side of a canal. He wasn't like fully in the water, I guess, but maybe like on the side. So I still don't know like how they got that initial phone call. Or if they got a phone call or if they saw him, but however it happened, I'm super thankful that it did.
Bentley spent the rest of Christmas cozying up in the firehouse until his family could pick him up.
A Christmas miracle in a great community, honestly.
That reunion caught on camera.
Where he like attacked us, yeah.
Just full of love and kisses.
Ran out.
He was super excited.
The Jones say this was the happy ending they only could have hoped for.
We're extremely happy and extremely lucky and extremely thankful.
And we'll be double checking Bentley is exactly where he belongs before ever leaving home without him again. Those firefighters who rescued Bentley were off shift today, but the family tells me they hope to thank them in person for their Christmas miracle. In Buckeye, Gabriela Becerra, 12 News.
We've had 3 fires just December alone within the Scottsdale area. 2 of them were cooking fires.
From Christmas trees to candles and cooking, Scottsdale Fire Captain Dave Folio says we are at a peak time for house fires.
There's 800 fires from December through January across the United States for holiday fires, candles, cooking, Christmas tree fires. 165 of those are Christmas tree fires, and the reality is those fires are explosive. They burn hotter, faster, and there's more fatalities from those fires.
Thankfully, no one was hurt in the most recent holiday-related fires they've responded to.
Christmas is over. Get the tree out of the house. I hate to be the Scrooge, but I have to be because these are so dangerous.
At the Scottsdale Fire Regional Training Center, firefighters showed our cameras a live demonstration of how a dry Christmas tree can ignite in seconds.
We've had an ignition source come through the back of the tree, and as you can see, if you don't have a working smoke alarm in your house right now that goes off and alerts you, and this thing's going to actually overrun the smoke alarm.
And when it does, how extremely fast the fire spreads.
If you're in a room of origin where it has a couch or curtains on the windows, you're in a lot of trouble because this starts overrunning the house. And if you're on a second story, you got to have a plan to get out of the house.
And while dried out Christmas trees do pose a serious and fast moving fire danger, especially when combined with electrical lights and indoor heat sources.
That was just one little spark at the back of that tree, and you can see how tragic that can turn.
They're also the easiest fires to prevent simply by removing the tree as soon as the holidays are done.
It's time to get them out.
About 210 home fires are caused by Christmas trees across the U.S. each year, resulting in deaths, injuries, and millions of dollars in property damage.
If you have to have a tree all the way up to the first of the year, put a fake one up. It's just way safer.
If you're looking to get rid of your Christmas tree, there are several parks throughout Scottsdale and Phoenix where you can take your tree throughout the next couple weeks. Trisha Hendricks, 12 News.
The width is
At Desert Sky Middle School,
1 inch.
Eric Axelrod is focused on his students' futures.
My 8th graders are 1 year away from signing up for high school classes, And I'd really want them to try and find something that they can take high school classes and then, vocational school or college after that. So I think it's never too early for them to start thinking about that.
It's called Career Action Lab.
I really like it. I enjoy going to this class every day just so I can try out different careers.
A class where students pause the usual routine.
It's very interesting and engaging.
And get hands-on lessons learning about different careers, learning about who they might want to become.
I love forensics. I would love to be a crime scene investigator. It's very interesting with all the activities we get to do, like fingerprint analysis, we get to do tire marks.
And then I'll pull this one so it stays.
Depending on my career of what I'm doing at the moment, I get to do suturing, IVs, maybe measuring medication, stuff like that.
Nursing, sports medicine, robotics, 3D printing, just some of the 18 career modules students can choose from.
I look around the room and I see kids drawing blood and wrapping arms and doing all these things that they could possibly do in the future. It feels pretty good.
Now, thanks to a $15,000 grant from TSMC,
I did not know it was coming. It was a surprise to me.
the program can grow, bringing new careers, opportunities, and activities for students.
And so when you have a great company like that who wants to support public education, it's great. It benefits all of our students. They understand, obviously, the importance of STEM and engineering and learning about all of this, and so they've been a great partner in our district.
At an age where dreams take shape,
So what we have here is called Buddy Tape.
the class shows students anything is possible,
I want to be like an anesthesiologist.
preparing them for what's ahead,
I'll hold this part.
opening doors they maybe never thought existed. Jay Cunningham, 12 News.
Coming up, we introduce you to a matchmaker who's been doing business for decades right here in the Valley. She's got an impressive success rate, but it's going to cost you a pretty penny. Meet the woman responsible for nearly 200 love stories. We'll be right back.
I always thought that if I could ever earn the trust of the people watching me, that would be the greatest accomplishment ever. Because if you think about our mantra, dedicated to journalism, dedicated to you, has never been more important. A good journalistic organization like 12 News, we can't and don't have an agenda. We have to play it down the middle every single night to bring about positive change and to solve problems in communities.
I'm Roseanne Higgins, and I go everywhere looking for love for the most eligible men in Arizona.
Roseanne Higgins is the founder of Spies, an elite matchmaking firm for high-achieving singles looking to ditch the dating apps and find true love. Most of her clients are men, successful in their careers, but not so lucky in love.
I think the first question people have is, okay, so how does this work?
So it's a lot of trust. So part of the process is you revealing all of your desires that you've probably never said aloud to anybody. I have to have one amazing man, and I have to know exactly what he wants. Him and every other man that comes to hire me. I have to make sure he's kissable. So he has to send me a photo before I even agree to work with him, because I have to be able to sell it.
Can you describe the typical man who hires you?
One, none of these men are typical. They are a find. And it's hard to find a guy if he's not on Instagram, if he's not hitting on you at the gym.
The secret to finding a compatible match, Roseanne says, is a mix of intuition, strategy, and passion. And just like her background in the U.S. Navy taught her, good old-fashioned boots on the ground.
And today, I'm at Powerhouse Women's Annual Conference. This is my office.
She attends thousands of events, spying the crowd for that special lady ready to make her move.
First, I have to have shoes that I can walk in fast, maybe run. Because if she's walking away, I might have taken this amount of time to watch her, to look and see if she's got a wedding ring.
I wanted to see Roseanne in action, so I decided to tag along at a polo match in Scottsdale.
I'm looking for the girl who smiles naturally. She's pretty, of course, men are visual, and when she smiles and lights up the room, she's gonna light up his life. We start there.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a realtor. But it's really about like how authentic they are, if we're aligned on our goals, our values. But obviously I'd like to feel like you have to have this part.
Well, I want to know a lot more.
Roseanne has matched 182 married couples. 82 of those couples fell in love on the first date, like Vita Galore.
I was living my life, just enjoying being single.
Vida and her match have been married now for 15 years. She says Roseanne's detailed vetting process is where the magic happens.
If I really know your soul, if I know your heart, if I know you're both ready, if you both have just really spent time and leaned in, that shows me you're going to be a great partner.
What are some of the things that have changed in the dating world since you started doing this 31 years ago?
One of the biggest things was politics. I had to ask whether you like Trump. Even if you're a Republican, how do you feel about Trump?
Roseanne says there are many challenges to modern dating, but has this advice for anyone feeling discouraged.
Never give up hope.
Because you never know when you might stumble upon love in an unexpected place, like during this interview.
So many different places, because nobody wants to.
And she said yes.
Wait, so are we the first ones to know?
You are.
Channel 12?
Technically, Channel 12 is the first to know.
The Valley is a golfer's paradise with nearly 200 courses to play and more than 300 days of sunshine. It's also home to one of golf's most iconic global brands. I'm taking you behind the scenes and behind the swings of Ping.
So this is our biggest production facility. We have 12 production lines. It starts off first with our epoxy process. This is putting the shaft to the head. So after we loft and lie it, then we cut it to length. Next, I would say one of the most skilled jobs out here is the gripping. So now the club's all pretty much built, but now we swing weight it, so that's kind of measuring how heavy the club is in the golfer's hand. Another exciting thing is nearly all this equipment is built here. So not only are we building the golf clubs here, but we build the equipment to build the golf clubs here.
So on this Phoenix campus, there's over 1,000 employees, but is it true this all started in a garage in 1959?
It did, yes, start in the garage, just the family operation. Karsten started tinkering around building his own putters. First putter made the sound ping. That's where we got the name.
Your grandfather started Ping. How are you continuing to honor his legacy today?
His philosophies we continue to use today. So he was all about making more forgiving golf clubs, making the game easier, more enjoyable for people to play. We custom build the clubs here to the individual golfers, and I would say we've just gotten better and better at them over the years.
You build clubs for the pros and for average Joes. What is similar or different when you're crafting for each of those?
There's nothing extra that's going into the pro clubs that the regular consumer can't get. Once we fit them, you know, further swing speed, further angle of attack, all that stuff, we can dial it in to work exactly for the individual golfer. But the pros use the same heads, the same equipment as the average guy does.
Tiger putts with a Ping grip. What is so special about the Ping grip, and do you specially make that for him?
That was our standard grip for years and years. That's just the grip he grew up putting with. It's a great grip. You know, we have the #1 selling putter for ages and ages. Welcome to the Ping Gold Putter Vault.
Wow.
My grandfather, Karsten, when he started to get putters that went on tour, was he wanted to commemorate the moment by making 2 gold putters, one to put in the vault and one to give to the players. There's over 3,000 putters in here now.
Do you have a personal favorite?
The first putter I actually designed working with my dad and Karsten is this putter here, the JB5. I worked on it in summers in high school, and then my dad called me when I was actually at school and told me that we got the win. It was Laura Davies who won.
What would you say is one of your most proudest moments for Ping?
So in 1988, we actually won all 4 men's majors. That's never been accomplished by any other putter brand. So I would say that's the biggest accomplishment in here.
In Phoenix, Crystal Long, 12 News.
In the dead of night, seems quiet right now. There's a lot happening in the Valley.
We've got a fire in Tempe. We're sending Troy.
In those early morning hours, 12 News is here because journalism never sleeps.
12 News Today in AZ, I'm Justin Pizarro.
David Chasnoff, 12 News.
Live here in Gilbert, Troy Lynch, 12 News.
12 News Today in AZ, dedicated to you.
Focusing on the local stories
and their impact on your day.
Welcome to Today in
12
AZ.
News Today in AZ, weekdays at 4:26 a.m.
Arizona needs Club Kids, and Club Kids need you. At Boys and Girls Clubs of the Valley, with support from State Farm, Valley Toyota dealers, and Semper Fi Heating and Cooling, we're helping shape brighter futures for Arizona's youth through education, mentorship, and opportunity.
You can just ask any one of these whether I complain. No.
If there's one word that would describe Miriam Lowe, it's spunk.
I bet most of the people you deal with are old.
Yes, they are. And they're not very chatty.
No.
Yeah, they don't seem to be enjoying their life.
Right.
Yeah, so you are different.
They complain.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not something you do, is it?
No, never.
See what I mean? Over the years, Miriam has seen it all, heard it all, and pretty much done it all. And at 108, a reporter bearing flowers wasn't exactly going to impress her. Miriam.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Well, thank you.
And many more.
Thank you.
These are for you. I hope you like sunflowers.
Mother, this is the reporter. Oh. I didn't know.
Well, it's not every day I get to bring a birthday girl some flowers, so I never turn that opportunity down.
And especially one so young.
Young, yes.
Very young.
She was born in Milwaukee in 1917. America was on the brink of World War I. Women had finally been given the right to vote. And as the years went by and one world war replaced another, she met and married Irving, who she'd spend the next 60 years with.
He was a good guy and I was a good girl.
They had a great life together, Irving and Miriam. Aside from raising 3 kids, she built a large accounting practice at a time when women running a business was a relatively new concept. And I understand that you were a CPA and you did taxes until you were turned 100. Is that right?
I don't know when I quit, but it wasn't too long ago.
Although life was hectic, Miriam and Irving always made time for their shared passion, traveling the world.
Well, there are a lot of places that I want. I made reservations to India 4 times. Never got there. Had to cancel every time.
Something came up. They say variety is the spice of life. Miriam still craves that spice, although these days, that variety tends to come from reading and playing bridge online.
I wouldn't even tell him about bridge. We did so poorly. The last 2 weeks have been awful.
You're on a losing streak?
Yeah.
Miriam is always a joy to meet with her. She always wants to ask questions and learn about new things.
As you might have guessed, there will be no retirement home for Miriam. She was adamant about staying in her home. So instead, she has a team of caretakers who watch over her.
She's open to new technology. I mean, what other individual that's over 100 is embracing playing games online and access to virtual technology to monitor her in her home?
Maybe the old song is really true. If you should survive to 105, look at all you'll derive out of being alive. And here's the best part. You have a head start, if you're like Miriam, among the very young at heart. Happy 108th, Miriam, and many more.
If you are among the very young.
Now I'm drunk.
What everybody expects when they get here is to have that time together.
And it's time they spend all year waiting for. Abe Arvizo Jr. has spent years keeping the Christmas Mass at Sacred Heart Church going. It's the only time the historic building opens its doors for Mass now to the public.
This is an ongoing tradition that we started back in '87.
The church located off of Buckeye and 16th Street, a relic of the barrios that were pushed out by the expansion of the airport. But once a year, those who grew up there can come back and reunite.
Live in hope, in faith, and love.
For those that still remain here, we look forward to the annual Mass that we do here.
That's United States Marine veteran Oscar Santa Cruz, a member of American Legion Post 41, who grew up near the church. Now, the post hosts a flag ceremony to kick off the service, and he would like to see that continue.
We focus on forgotten country. Through the years, it's instilled in us that we will continue to serve.
In the 80s, the church was at risk of being torn down, and the community came together to save it. But you can see much around it has changed. And while many of those who helped build it have passed, Arvizo says coming to the service will honor their work.
Tradition really is the dead. That's their voice. When you continue traditions, they have a voice in the matter.
Reporting in Phoenix, Allison Rodriguez, 12 News.
Thanks for watching. A reminder, new episodes of 12 News Weekend premiere every Friday on 12 Plus. You can also watch past episodes on the app. Download 12 Plus for your Apple TV, Fire TV, and Roku to watch for free. I'm Tram Mai. Have a great rest of your weekend.
This weather is why we live here. But winter storms impact the whole state.
12 News Weather Impact keeps you safe and ready on Weather Impact Alert days. When roads turn icy.
When those snowy trails call. If your flight could be delayed.
Or when cold, rainy days impact your commute.
Stay safe on those Weather Impact Alert days.
12 News Weather Impact in every newscast and streaming on 12 Plus. 12 News and 12 Plus keep you in the loop by reporting more from the rapidly growing West Valley.
We're outside Surprise City Hall.
More homes, jobs, and unexpected challenges expanding west.
In Peoria, they'll have the resources ready.
12 News, dedicated to the West Valley.
Explosive is one word for what's happening.
West Valley in the Loop on 12 News and streaming on 12 Plus. Download on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV devices.